Hello out there in podcast land. Welcome back to another episode of Strictly Sports. This is Ethan Truex.
And I'm Austin, not Truex.
Oh, okay. And anyway, we're coming at you here from week 1 of the NFL season.
And I'm already depressed.
I am almost sad. Please, Drew Brees, have mercy on my soul.
There's a very good likelihood that Ethan will be streaming the Saints-Texans game as his fantasy football team is really relying upon it right now.
I'm really relying on Drew Brees not doing well, but he keeps doing Drew Brees things. Which
like
is,
doing goat things, if you will.
he's doing the second best at the quarterback position.
The second!
I'm willing to admit that he's behind Tom Brady.
I hate you so much.
Which brings us to kind of our first line item of the podcast. Some breaking, well, not breaking anymore because it is Monday.
Well, technically the bones are still breaking.
We're going to talk about the injuries first. Okay.
Wait, where are we heading?
I was heading towards the Patriots news.
Well, sure, let's go with that.
All right, so we got the Patriots, probably the best team in the NFL right now.
Unfortunately.
And, well, they're about to get a whole lot better because they have signed former Steelers and former Raiders wide receiver.
Was he really a Raider, though?
He was on the roster.
Antonio Brown.
Oh, gosh. For a $15 million one-year contract.
So that just means he's playing in Patriots land, and then he's booking it off to South Beach.
No. He's going to get addicted to the rings, and he will stay with the Patriots. Because he also has a $20 million option for 2020.
Jesus. Okay, yeah, he's not going anywhere.
He has so much money now. And the Patriots.
Let's just look at their wide receivers.
Oh, my goodness.
So we were talking about this at dinner because we usually do these podcasts after we leave dinner. Oh, my God. The Patriots their first 4 wide receivers are literally the Pro Bowl from the AFC a couple years ago.
Right. Yeah, even without Antonio Brown, their wide receiver core is probably one of the best in the league.
Because they got Julian Edelman.
Josh Gordon.
They've got Denarius Thomas.
And Philip Dorsett is not a bad receiver at all.
Yeah, and now they have Antonio Brown. And when he's healthy, they'll have, how do you say his name? N'Keal
Harry, I think.
Yeah. So, they got 6 options. They don't need Gronk back anymore.
Oh, gosh. No, that would be... The Patriots, I personally think, going forward, especially what the Patriots did to the poor Steelers last night, beating them, 33-3?
Yeah.
And just literally destroying them without Antonio Brown.
And Sonny Michel didn't do anything, too.
Yeah, it was all in the air. And I think that this Patriots team will probably go 16-0.
You see, for a bit there, I was with you on the 16-0. Well, now I am, I should say. Sorry, I mixed myself up. Prior to Antonio Brown, I was thinking, Buffalo could grab a win, whenever there's 7 feet of snow on the ground. Because that's usually what Buffalo does. They play at home in the fucking blizzard.
Or they play at Foxborough and also in a blizzard.
Very possible. So I figured, they'd grab a win. Patriots end up going 15-1 with their current roster because, goddamn.
It was still good without Antonio Brown.
But now that they have Antonio, 16-0. There's no doubt.
This is one of the best Patriots teams that we've ever seen. Possibly one of the best NFL offenses we've ever seen, too.
And just to think, 3 months ago, none of this was here.
No, they didn't have Josh Gordon. Pretty much they were working with Julian Edelman, Dorsett, and Harry, I guess?
Harry, and then a bunch of, rookies. Because Denarius Thomas didn't come until training camp.
Yeah, and Josh Gordon wasn't active until, I think, about the same time.
Yeah.
And then, now we got Antonio Brown. Oh, the Patriots are just... I think they're unbeatable. The closest team right now in my mind is the Chiefs, and, well, let's kind of get into some injury news. They've just lost their best wide receiver, Tyreek Hill, potentially to some sort of shoulder injury. We don't know. He's been hospitalized, which does not look good. And
that usually means something is majorly wrong.
Yes, There's reports that they are seriously considering putting him on IR, which is
Yeah, it's
not
not
good.
good. Because don't get me wrong, Sammy Watkins is a good option.
No, Sammy Watkins is not a good option.
He can be wide receiver one.
Get his
He's not a
Slytherin, get his Slytherin ass out of here. I don't want it.
fucking lizard man.
God damn it!
You're just pissed because that's the reason you're gonna lose this week.
I'm not gonna lose.
Him and Drew Brees are gonna defeat you single-handedly.
No, he got 198 receiving yards because Hill was gone. Before Hill got injured, he already had over 100 receiving yards. And it was like halfway through the first quarter.
That's just a lot, regardless.
It was so much. And
It's not like the Chiefs have a ton of options. It's pretty much those two and Kelsey.
Yeah.
Can you name another Chief receiver?
Yeah, Mecole Hardman is who I've got my eye on now, but he still didn't look great. I think they're gonna practice this next week and maybe see that he's kind of an option, hopefully, because
Nah, I think they're just gonna keep putting running backs at wide receiver spots.
No, they're not the Bears. Come on.
Hey, Terry Cohen is a beautiful man.
But yeah, no, it's just it doesn't look good for him either because I mean Sammy Watkins can't handle the workload either because he is an extremely injury prone player himself.
He's gonna break pretty soon if he's the only one catching balls.
Yeah, because like they're gonna figure out that he's the number one and they're gonna shadow him and well he's just gonna lose his tail as lizards are prone to do.
Yeah. You're really on this whole lizard thing, aren't you?
Hey, he's the one that thinks he's a lizard, not me.
Hey, whatever, dude.
But in other injury news, in the same game actually, in the Chiefs Jaguars game.
This is the news that affects one of my predictions from this year.
Ooh, and I was right about one of my predictions.
Oh, shut up.
Nick Foles got sandwiched between one of his linebackers and the pass rusher. And he has a broken clavicle?
Not the clavicle.
Oh, so he'll definitely probably be out for about 6 to 7 weeks.
Well, if anyone like me remembers Tony Romo, Foles' career's over.
I mean,
it's just over.
Yeah.
You break your clavicle once, you're going to break it twice. You're going to break it 3 times.
Oh, no.
You're going to have more rings by LeBron James on your clavicle than you are in general.
But yeah, I mean, the Jaguars were really excited about Foles going into this season. It's really unfortunate for them that they've lost him. But in all honesty, their 6th round rookie draft pick. What was his name?
Let's play a fun round of who the fuck are the Jaguars starting at QB this year?
I think his name is like Gardner Minshew or something. Sounds like a goddamn
Gardner Minshew.
Gardner?
Gardner.
Who the fuck names their son Gardner?
Maybe they were picking a profession for him.
Well, was he going to garden footballs? What the?
They're really wrong.
They don't grow on trees. But he
if you plant a football, it will grow.
Oh, gross! No, it's not how farming works. But no, Minshew or whatever his name is, he actually looked surprisingly good for a 6th round rookie quarterback.
On the Jaguars.
Yes, on the Jaguars.
David Garrard, part 2.
So it'll be interesting to see what the Jaguars do going forward. I think that pretty much wraps it up for the injury news. There were other players injured, and I'm sure they matter to other people, but I'm not a professional sportscaster or anything, so you figure it out.
I know N'Keal Harry.
He was injured in the preseason.
Yeah, but they threw him on IR. So I don't know if that's...
I think there was another dude that broke a clavicle. Oh, well, yeah, this also affects you. Tevin Coleman went down with a sprained ankle.
Well, no wonder he didn't give me any points.
And so he'll be out for at least a couple weeks, putting Matt Breida back in the number 1 spot, which...
does not help me at all.
Yeah, no, it doesn't help me either. But still, Matt Breida, man, he was good. I feel like he was really pretty decent last year.
I mean, yeah, he performed well.
He could have really, I think, been the number 1 if they didn't, they could have just, kept Matt Breida as the number 1 and not gone out and spend money on Tevin Coleman, but they did.
I think they just wanted a passing option.
But who cares?
Everyone wants a Darren Sproles of like 2008.
Ugh,
You know
ugh.
how it is.
Man, Darren Sproles actually looked pretty good
He did.
this week. Man, he
I haven't seen him actually do anything in about 5 years.
which kind of brings me to the next thing I want to talk about. Our top surprises from week 1. I'll go ahead and get us started off.
Okay.
I won't call them by their name because it's stupid and racist, but the team from Washington. Actually, everyone going into the week 1, everyone, including myself, thought that Washington was complete utter shit,
Including both of us.
and their coaches still are because they decided to bench someone who rushed for 1,000 yards last season.
And has like the most rushing yards of any modern day running back.
Yeah. So for some reason, Adrian Peterson was benched by them, and I don't understand that. But they did surprisingly well in the Eagles game. Really, actually, kind of leading the game for the first 2 or 3 quarters, and then before the Eagles finally found their rhythm and started throwing the ball to broken finger Deshaun Jackson.
Dude, that guy is he's immortal.
I mean, damn, he got 100, I think, over 130 receiving yards with a broken finger. I shudder to think of what he's going to do with a whole hand.
Well, I mean, just don't ask Jason Pierre-Paul.
Oh no. So yeah, what was one of your biggest surprises of week 1? I'm going with the team from Washington. They did surprisingly well, and I'm less scared of starting their offense.
Well, I'm going to go with another team that really surprised me because they went up against a team that is known for having a very good defense. I'm going with the Bengals.
Okay, yeah.
Entirety of the Bengals. Like, what? They kept up with the Seahawks? What happened? Is Zach Taylor actually just Sean McVay Part 2?
Oh, no.
Is Andy Dalton not just a one-hit wonder?
Isn't it actually kind of amazing that we're talking about Sean McVay, who is like 2 or 3 years in the NFL, he's one of the most elite coaches.
I don't know where he came from. I think he was just crafted by the Infinity Stones.
No, leave Franco out of this.
That's true. Oh, that should be one of our podcasts coming up. The Infinity Stones of the NFL.
Ooh.
Because we're also huge nerds, and we have to do that.
Okay, well, we'll table that for another one.
But yeah, so Bengals just, wow, I was expecting them to look pretty much like the Dolphins, but...
Yeah, I mean, Andy Dalton threw for 418 yards and 2 touchdowns.
That's pretty good for him.
That's pretty good for anyone.
Yeah, and then John Ross did really well.
Yeah, 7 receptions for 158 yards.
That's are those career numbers? I don't think
they're definitely career numbers.
I don't think he's actually done anything since he got drafted.
Ross has never put up numbers like that before.
No. Well, it's because he set the record for the fastest 40 or something, and then he hasn't done shit since.
Yeah, and the rest of the receiving core, I mean, they don't have A.J. Green right now, which is kind of surprising that they're still doing so well. Boyd looked great with 8 catches for 60. C.J. Uzomah was looking pretty good, too.
At the tight end.
Yeah, and their other tight end, Tyler Eifert, was finally back and healthy. And
he's not broken anymore?
He is currently healthy. He got 5 catches for 27 yards, which is not great. But still, the Bengals are doing good. What is going on here?
Yeah, they actually could have beaten the Seahawks.
But they still lost.
Well, yeah.
Because they are still the Bengals. Just like Washington. Washington is still Washington.
Hey, they'll have Dwayne Haskins soon, and then we can talk more about that.
Oh, man. Even with, they didn't have Jordan Reed, but Vernon Davis looked amazing. What is he, 45? No, he's not. He's 31 probably. But still, I saw him hurdle a defender. He hurdled a defender.
I can't do that now.
I know. I could never do that.
It was just damn impressive.
Yeah, it was actually entertaining football for once from Washington and Cincinnati.
Just the whole week in general, it just kind of seemed different. It seemed like, unless you're a Dolphin, everyone had a chance.
Well, okay. There's also the Bucks. They didn't have a chance.
We don't talk about them. Well, but we will talk about our fantasy draft here
Ooh,
shortly.
yes.
We're just going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with judging each other's teams, if you will.
Oh, it's Big Mike here from Big Mike's Emporium, Funeral Emporium. Oh, I just want you to know about our great NFL deals right now. If your team lost this week and you died because of it, you get 50% off your caskets. And we'll even include a complimentary football for you to hold in repose. So come on down to Big Mike's Funeral Emporium and toss that pigskin into the great beyond.
And we're back!
Whew, well, that was a scintillating offer from our sponsors. I hope I never have to use it.
Gotta love Big Mike's Funeral Emporium. Is that who's sponsoring it?
Yeah, sure. I don't know. I'm drunk most of the time.
Oh.
Anyway, we are back, and we are going to be critiquing each other's draft picks.
So, you want to go first, or you want to do one, then one, then
I'll let you go first.
Because we agreed prior to this, we're only going to roast each other on 2 of them.
Yes.
Because otherwise, Ethan would just be sitting here ranting about my team.
And then mine a little bit too.
Yeah. All right. Let me just get another look at yours. Feel free to go ahead and go after mine real quick. So what we've agreed upon is 2 people, like I said, and we'll kind of just mention why we believe the other is perhaps a little bit wrong in choosing them.
Basically, we're asking, why the hell did you draft him?
That's a very good way to put that. And then, obviously, we'll be able to do a rebuttal.
Yes, we obviously will be defending our picks because, as fantasy football players, we are always right. No matter what. Did Drew Brees score again?
No, Hopkins did.
Oh, fine. Anyway, yeah, we're filming this during Monday Night Football, and we're like checking our phones constantly to see the score.
Yeah, it's just a shame that the person I'm going against still has 50 more than me.
Oh, no. No.
Dude, it's fucking Austin Eckler. Anyway, yeah, let me
go. That was another surprise from week 1. Austin Eckler, beautiful. Ugh.
All right, anyway, go ahead and go after mine, and we'll get going here.
Okay, here we go. Cutting this for you guys. Our viewers are so stupid. I don't know why they don't pay attention to us. Why am I signed out of this? Shit.
Well, this is going well.
The app signed me out. Fuck NFL. Hey, NFL.com, if you're listening, your app sucks.
I'm actually with him on that. I like the old way it was.
It was fine.
There was nothing wrong with it. Just give it a new coat of paint and let it go. You still waiting?
No, I'm in now. I'm just getting to your team.
Okay.
My phone doesn't want to load this shit.
Yeah. Ooh, I just found someone else I can rip on you for.
Okay, all right. So, you going first or me?
You can.
All right, okay.
I gotta load my ammunition.
And we're back from our technical difficulties, and...
I'm definitely not gonna cut all that out, just so you know.
Oh, no! Oh, no!
Fun fact, I do most of the editing.
Anyway, so...
Who you hitting me with first?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Why the hell is Peyton Barber on your team?
Okay, so Peyton...
No, I'm not done yet. You hate Peyton Barber.
All right, so...
You've told me how terrible he is. You've called him not a running back.
Because he's not. He's like Ty Montgomery. He's a wide receiver that they made a running back.
Why?
Because Tampa doesn't believe in running backs. It's like Santa Claus for them.
Santa Claus.
They don't believe in him, so it's not there.
Why is he on your team? Why do you believe in him?
I really don't.
Explain yourself.
See, there's a lot of people on my fantasy team that I can defend. Peyton Barber is not really one of them.
All right. Let's take a little peek at Peyton Barber's 2018 stats.
It's not going to be pretty. Mostly, the reason I drafted him is because it was.
Hey,
I want to say it was the second to last pick left, and I didn't have a Tampa Bay Buck on my team yet.
You could pick their kicker.
Shut up. I didn't know who their kicker was at the time. Thank you.
Yeah,
I was
anyway,
slightly intoxicated.
so hey, Peyton Barber did have one game for over 100 rushing yards. So there's that.
Hey, he's a receiving running back. It's fine.
But he still only had like 800 yards on the season. Frank Gore did that, and I got him in the last round.
Yeah. Well, my last round pick was Golden Tate. Thank you.
Well, I mean, I can respect that. Golden Tate will be great when he gets back from his 4-game suspension in week 5.
Hey, they made the waiver wire for a reason.
Don't worry, your team will already be torpedoed. Especially if Peyton Barber is still there.
I mean, I average maybe 5 people from the draft still on my team at the end of the year, so.
Yeah, no. My teams live on the waiver wires, to be honest. Oh, like George Kittle. Oh, I got him off the waivers last year, and it was beautiful.
Oh, yeah, that would be me.
Oh, screw you. Tight ends are stupid.
You're stupid. Tight ends have souls.
We don't have a reason to have tight ends, so I have none.
There's flex.
Yep, I don't have a reason to put anything but a wide receiver there.
Shut up.
Anyway, so who are you going to possibly critique that's on my team, which is clearly the best in the league?
As you're just barely beating someone because he has Drew Brees.
Hey, no one could have predicted Lizard King's goddamn triumph. Oh, sweet. Will Lutz scored.
Oh, okay.
I'm still 12 points ahead, guys. 12 points. I might win.
All right. I'm going to surprise you with this one because I didn't discuss it beforehand.
Oh no.
I didn't realize he was on your team.
I'm so scared. I'm not ready. Go ahead.
I'm going to go with why the hell did you draft AJ Green?
Oh, well, okay. Let's.
Now, I know that we just praised the Bengals, but I honestly think AJ Green, that's a poor choice.
I mean, okay.
He's too injury prone. He doesn't do anything anymore.
I mean, that is true. When AJ Green is injured, he is not on the football field and doesn't do anything. But think about it. When he was on the football field in 2017.
Oh, wow, that was a while ago.
Looking up his fantasy stats
Ethan?
real quick.
Ethan.
Yeah, okay. Here's my thinking right now.
I was training to be in oral surgery in 2017, if that dates this at all.
Hear me out. AJ Green is an athletic human being, and when or if he comes back to the Bengals lineup, he will probably be their number 1 wide receiver. And, hey, look, if Andy Dalton's throwing 400-yard games, then, hey, he's got to throw to AJ Green sometime.
Hey, but what if, just hear me out, what if AJ Green was the reason the Bengals were doing so bad because they relied on him too much?
I mean, I don't think that's likely anymore, because now people got to worry about Tyler Boyd and John Ross.
If you have to say and think about what their names are, no.
And CJ Uzama. Hey, Tyler Eifert's back. Everybody, 2015 fantasy people.
He'll be broken in 2 weeks. It'll be fine.
Hey, and then AJ Green will step into that role.
Well, then he'll be broken too.
In 4 weeks, therefore getting 2 weeks of
Okay, so you're saying you drafted AJ Green for 2 weeks and that's it.
Yep, not afraid to drop him.
All right. Whatever.
All right, well.
You want to go again?
Because I'm going to graciously skip over your kicker.
We don't talk about what happened in my kicker situation, okay? For those listening, I drafted a kicker that apparently, according to NFL.com, was on a team.
He's technically on their team.
He just wasn't their starting kicker.
And
they had a second kicker, apparently.
It turns out you don't use your backup kicker unless you absolutely need to.
Why did a team have 2 kickers? I just picked them because, hey, I thought Cleveland Browns, fuck it. They'll probably score some points. I'll get some extra points.
All right, so
didn't do shit.
Here's my bone to pick with you.
What?
I'm talking about a team that wears red shirts.
That's most of my roster.
Yeah, I know, you're right. Tevin Coleman. Now, come on. Like, why did you draft Tevin Coleman? I mean, he's a fine running back, but he's never more than fine. And at least, like, 1 to 2 games out of the year, he's absolutely useless because he has sickle cell or something.
Oh, yeah, because he can't go to Denver.
Yeah, he literally can't go to Denver at all. Denver has the ultimate defense against Tevin Coleman, and he can't play there.
I mean, that is an advantage. It's a shame that they aren't in the same division. Otherwise, that playoff series would be very interesting.
I mean, but there was a reason that Tevin Coleman was not the starting running back for the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah.
And that is not going to change on the 49ers.
You're not completely wrong. So listen to me for a moment here.
Okay.
So in our fantasy draft that both of us are in, there was a lack of running backs when it came up to the time that I realized that I did not have running back because somebody to my left decided to draft 7 of them.
I did draft 5 quarterbacks in the first 6, or 5 running backs in the first 6 rounds.
Yeah, the only person you didn't draft as a running back, who was it?
Davante Adams.
Yep. Everyone else was a goddamn running back.
Let's see, I got David Johnson, Dalvin Cook, Chris Carson, Devonta Freeman, and Sony Michel.
So I'll go ahead and say this. The one person I was going to grill you for a moment was David Johnson, but it was just because of how high you picked him up.
I mean,
I still feel like David Johnson, that's too high.
Week 1 justified 25 fantasy points.
And that's why I'm not going to grill you on him. But what I am going to grill you on.
Oh, I'm so ready.
Do
it.
I'm bringing out the guns on this. Davante Adams.
Okay, now. Let me tell you how you're wrong. Because Davante Adams.
Boy, don't you even get started.
Is going to be a wide receiver, probably in the top 3 wide receivers this year.
I disagree. I think last year was his year.
You're wrong, because has Aaron Rodgers changed? Nope. Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers. And who are they going to throw to? Allison? Fuck Allison. He's not as good as Davante Adams. Nah, it's Davante Adams. Davante Adams last year caught at least 7 catches every week. And usually he would either get at least 80 yards receiving or a touchdown. Oftentimes, both.
Okay,
which equals buco fantasy points.
So last year, I won't lie to you, last year was incredible. He had a great year. That was 1 year.
And we can go back, I think. I don't actually pay attention to people's statistics like that. But I'm sure Davante Adams was pretty good.
I think he was a little more inconsistent than last year showed. And I think that's how this year's going to go because what he do for you so far?
Hey, he was going up against. Let me keep in mind, yeah.
So this is also part of the reason I'm doubting your belief on Davante Adams.
Okay.
Because he is in one of the toughest defensive, what's the word? Divisions. That's the word. In the NFL.
The Vikings suck on defense, and so did the Lions. It's just the Bears. It's just the Bears.
That's still 2 Bears trips, and
hey,
the Lions are getting better though.
But that doesn't mean that they'll let lots of points go through. Because week 1 demonstrated that the Lions are perfectly capable of breaking down defensively.
Okay, you're not wrong there. However, also remember this: the Packers actually have a defense now, so they don't have to rely on offense as much. So they might start running it more. And Aaron Rodgers is getting older. He's going to want to relax from time to time.
If week 1 is any indication, then their run game didn't look too solid either. So,
well, if that's the case, their whole offense looked not solid.
Hey, that's the number 1 fantasy defense in the league. Thank you very much. The Bears are pretty good defensively, so that's why that happened. And he's going to come back next week. I'm saying it now. Next week, I'm going to come in here and say that Davante Adams caught for over 80 yards and a touchdown. We're locking and loading that prediction right there.
So you're saying week 2 prediction
against
Davante Adams has at least 80 yards.
What's his matchup? Vikings. Yeah, okay, it's the Vikings. 80 yards, touchdown against the Vikings. happening next week, and I'm going to be celebrating because I beat whoever my opponent is next week because of Devontae Adams.
I'm going to make a prediction as well.
Okay.
I'm going to say Peyton Barber gets more points than Devontae Adams next week.
Man, that's a really bold prediction. Who are they facing?
I should probably look that up first. If it's the Bears, I might want to stop myself.
Yeah, I don't think it's the Bears, but that's still very bold of you because I'm pretty sure, despite the shitty stat line that Devontae Adams posted, he still scored more points than Peyton Barber.
Not by much.
1 point, but that is still more.
You are right. Oh, they're facing the Panthers next week.
Ooh.
There's a chance. So you're saying there's a chance?
Yes, but I'm telling you, man, 80 yards and a touchdown right here, right next week.
I'm calling it now. I'm saying Peyton Barber more points. Devontae Adams only gets a catch or two.
All right, okay. So
one of them might be for a touchdown.
So our current bet is you're saying that Peyton Barber is going to rush for, trying to do the totals in my head real quick. Let's see.
I see the smoke coming out.
Like what, 100 yards?
Roughly, yeah.
Oh, oof. Man, he did that how many times last season?
Enough.
Once?
Well, you see, he also gets the receiving points, though.
Oh, and who's the receiving back for the Buccaneers?
Barber.
Is it?
Well, Ronald Jones sucks. So.
What about
You gonna try to pronounce that name?
Ogunbowale, right? Is that how you say? Oh, that was super racist. I apologize, Pacific Islanders. But yeah, the Ogun. I can't say his name.
I think his first name's Dare.
Yeah, Dare.
Ogun. Let me see it again. I can't pronounce it, and I saw him on the roster.
I'm sorry. The NFL. Just for the record, again, the NFL fantasy app sucks. Ogun. Well, I'm typing in. I only know the first 4 letters of his name because I stopped reading after that.
I just like his first name, Dare. That's cool.
Like, man, why does this app suck so much? NFL, seriously. Why?
Get your shit together. Otherwise, you'll join Ethan's rant list that he's going to do over the winter.
Ogunbowale. I was right.
That was actually
I was just a little racist about it.
Unintentional racism.
Slightly intentional racism, let's be honest here. I'll call myself out on that.
Hey, I mean, we live in Indiana. It's part of the thing, I guess.
All right, so those were our draft mistakes of the...
Now, if you want to really see some draft mistakes, just look at my entire roster besides my...
Okay, yeah, no.
All right. Oh, God, he's doing it.
You challenged me now.
All right.
You impugned the honor of Devontae Adams.
Okay. Fine, just ruin my roster.
No, your roster's mostly okay. I won't be too mean. I mean...
Now, you point out all the flaws you see.
Your running backs are shite.
Yes, they are. Again, with the whole fact that by the time I realized I needed a running back, I was a little intoxicated. So I ended up with Tarek Cohen and Tevin Coleman.
Hey, man, Philip Lindsay's going to pull it out for you. Because Royce Freeman is
Sucks?
not. Yeah, no, Royce Freeman is not going to. They keep saying it's going to be 50-50. But you know what? The Chargers said that the Eckler-Jackson split was going to be 50-50. And it did not look like 50-50.
No. Can we also point out one thing that happened during our draft, though?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
God love it. Our friend Morgan, the one that you've seen on some of our other podcasts, he was trying to draft Devontae Freeman.
Oh, no.
He accidentally drafted Royce Freeman because he just saw Freeman and put it on the board.
And then you know what I did? I proceeded to point it out to him.
And then you drafted Devontae Freeman.
I needed it. I needed more running backs.
You did not need more running backs.
Hey, to be fair, I saved him, actually, because if he had drafted Devonta Freeman, he would have started him this week. And Devonta Freeman did very badly this week.
Though you're not wrong. You didn't need more running backs.
Hey, I'm trying to help a friend.
You're trying to help yourself.
Yes.
Because you also told someone to draft Justin Tucker before I could get to him.
Hey.
Which is why I ended up with the freaking backup for the backup of Cleveland.
Favorite?
Sure. No, he's leaving my roster this week, so it's fine.
I mean, kickers just leave the roster entirely.
No, we must have one kicker.
Oh,
because
okay.
it's going to be your demise because you have to face Zerling.
Anyway, this has been less than strictly sports. Wait, strictly sports.
Presented by Less Than Satisfactory.
Sponsored by Big Mike's Emporium, Funeral Emporium.
Don't forget about their NFL discount.
Yeah, go on down to the Funeral Emporium for their 50% off caskets for shitty team fans. So if you're a fan of the Lions or the Bucks, get your deal now.
Yeah, I believe they put the logo of the teams on the ball now, as they put it in your casket. So I mean that's pleasant.
Do they brand it on top of the brand the top of the casket with an L?
That is not the Bucks logo.
Are you sure?
Just because it feels like it.
Every time I
Sometimes.
see Tampa Bay, I just see an L next to their name. What's wrong?
Hey, they average 4-12 every year. Thank you. We get 4 of the W's. All right. Anyway, this is Satisfactory Sports. I'm Austin,
I'm Ethan.
and we're getting the hell out of here.